Hi, I'm Bill McLaughlin, Editor-in-Chief of Furniture Today. Welcome to this week's edition of FTTV. It's been a very busy week in the furniture industry. Yesterday, the mere mention that Ethan Allen might be the subject of private equity interest sent that stock up in midday. There's been some news of Ashley that we'll get into later. We have Tom Russell back with us from travels all across the globe, and he'll be giving us an update on his travels. And we'll be hearing from Clint Engel on the demise of a fairly significant retailer here in the North Carolina area. And of course, we have Thomas Lester, who is just back from the Atlanta market where he was covering the rug area there. So why don't we get started and let's go around the room. Powell, you spoke to Ron Wanek recently from Ashley Furniture. Why don't you tell us what Ron had to say?
Yeah, Bill, we got Ron on the phone yesterday to talk about their decision to table these discussions about getting some private equity investment. And frankly, I'm kind of glad they're keeping control of the company. They're when you go into private equity, you end up with a lot of leverage, and they have some very aggressive growth plans. And I don't think they wanted to be limited. I think in the he didn't say, he never says never, but for now, they want to stay their own course. And it's kind of interesting. You mentioned Ethan Allen, too. Home furnishings is no longer a pariah in the investment community. I mean, we're back, and that's interesting. I'm going to turn it over here to Clint to talk about his news.
On the downside, I was talking to a retailer, Freedom Furniture and Electronics, that's actually going out of business. They're based in Virginia, but they have 12 stores, credit-oriented stores across near military bases all across the country. And they've also faced some probes by the government on problem lending and collecting activities that they've been fighting. But Link Melly, the president, said it really didn't have anything to do with that. It didn't help that they had that expense. But the bigger issue for them was competition from the used to be called rack acceptance. Now it's acceptance now, and progressive leasing, which are rent-to-own operations within that owned by rent-to-own giants, but they operate within furniture stores, so that their business has been cut by 25% for the past 2 years, and they finally decided to call it quits. Okay, let's hand it over to Tom.
Thanks, Clint. It's been a pretty busy month for me. In the month of June, right around the 21st, I went over to Malaysia to do a tour of what ended up being about 16 furniture plants in Malaysia over the course of 4 days. A lot of these factories are kind of mid-sized plants that we saw producing mostly case goods, but also some upholstery, a lot of mid to lower mid-price product. Great facilities, great people, great industry there. I look forward to writing about it. This past week, the shorter trip, I was in Mexico in a suburb to the north of Guadalajara, about an hour north, visiting a terrific furniture manufacturer called International Furniture Direct. And they produce case goods, bedroom, dining room, occasional, entertainment pieces, desks, you name it, with woods this is the interesting part, that are primarily from Mexico. In fact, all the wood they source is from Mexico, and they also have their own foundry. Speaking of manufacturing, we had another case goods company that closed in North Carolina, Council Furniture, but has been acquired by Kindle Company up in Grand Rapids. So there'll be an update on that purchase and a little bit about what it means. But the good news is that brand is going to continue to stay alive. Now we'll turn it to Thomas and hear his report about Atlanta.
Well, Atlanta was a good market. A lot of the trends that I had identified last week, I saw in spades: your blues, your grays, your transitional looks. And one thing that stood out that really doesn't translate well to imagery or the printed word was some of the producers are turning more attention to softness. And particularly Oriental Weavers had a rug from their Heavenly Shag collection that they compared to the feel of a teddy bear. And having felt it, I would say, yeah, that's pretty much on point. And also, while I was in Atlanta, I met a group of industry veterans who have formed a company called International Rug Group. And what they do is they go to retailers and they say, let us take care of your rug business for you via in-store galleries, trunk sales, other promotions. And they've already got a pretty large feather in their cap with 4 galleries for top 100 company Kittles Furniture. And to date, the word is that it's doing quite well.
As you can see, it's been a very busy week in the furniture industry. We hope you'll turn to the pages of Furniture Today to get more detail on each of these stories. I'm Bill McLaughlin with Furniture Today, wishing you good business.